Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, InaneDragon, and tonight's completely unscripted rant is brought to you by our good friend Cognac. You need to be drunk for this shit. Tonight we're talking about genetics, specifically the genetics of skin color. And all of this is because of some bullshit from Chris Ray Gun, Cat Black, and Vadim Newquist, Creationist Cat's own personal slave. That's right, we have bullshit going on. Even fucking Vadim is getting genetics wrong on this one. Here's the thing. Most people, they're taught Mendelian Genetics in high school, if they're taught anything about genetics at all. Mendelian Genetics was invented before we knew DNA existed, so that tells you it's an approximation right from the outset. Here's the thing. Mendelian Genetics is all about dominant genes and recessive genes. Dominant genes override recessive genes. If you've got dominant, recessive, dominant wins. If you've got dominant, it don't matter. If you got recessive, it wins. Skin color ain't like that. Skin color is a series of as few as 3, as many as 100 genes. We are literally not sure yet, so anybody saying they know, as opposed to they think, or evidence suggests, is lying to you from the outset. As far as I know, with the little I have to work with, none of it's Mendelian. What you have is genetics where each gene for dark skin will trigger your skin to produce more melanin, whereas the other alleles of that same gene will cause it to produce less or no melanin. Instead of having, because as you may know, you get chromosomes in pairs, so chromosome 2A, chromosome 2B, dominant recessive or recessive dominant, the dominant would override, as I said earlier. However, with skin color, if you have dark light or light dark, don't matter. They take basic, it's all additive essentially. Each gene allele produces so much melanin, regardless of whether it's in gene 2A, gene 2B, or somewhere the fuck else. Every gene we've found related to skin color is not dominant recessive. It's on-off. That's it. It doesn't override the other chromosome. Both chromosomes work towards your final skin color. That's why a black person and a white person having a baby, often they're brown. Unless, of course, you're talking about an African American person, where often there's a lot of white people in their history, so there's already some dilution going on. Or for that matter, if you're a white person, there's probably a fair bit of black person in your history if you're in America. And so you also have the genes to potentially produce a darker skinned baby than you think you can. And when they come together, you get something a little bit different. You don't get, if it were dominant recessive, the dominant gene would simply override. If dominant black genes and recessive white genes, instead of mixing, if it were dominant recessive, then when a black person and a white person had a kid, black kid. Unless they had a recessive white gene, in case white kid, not brown, not in between, not something other than either white or black. The fact that you have shades of gray, so to speak, between a white person, a black person, or a white person, an Asian person, etc., proves it's not dominant recessive. Look at people and you know it's not dominant recessive. You know it's a blend. This has been a drunk rant by InaneDragon. I'm not gonna shill shit other than Minds and Twitter, both of which are at InaneDragon. I'll leave all the rest of that crap for a real video where you're not staring at this ugly mug all day.